We're going to get things going, though, in the kitchen with Chef Jon-Paul from Le Cordon Bleu, and we're all about celebrating summer with some tasty grains and beans, some roasted pepper, hummus, classic tabbouleh, and some bulgur wheat. All the really great, good stuff from the earth.
And it's a lot of the stuff that people just walk by in the aisle because they either scratch their head or they have no idea how to cook it. So hopefully we can demystify that. But what I want to do is, summer is the time for chips and dips and snacks.
Right.
So I want to give you a very cheap alternative. And hummus is huge now. And I go to Costco and people buy it by the buckets.
Right.
And they're paying too much.
Well, no, it's true. Even the small ones are like...
They're paying way too much.
$5, $6.
And I was talking to the audience earlier, and I said, hopefully at the end of this segment, you will be so angry and so furious that you've been paying that much for hummus when it's so simple to make and it's so cheap.
Can I get a... Let me ask the audience, how many of you actually make your own hummus, or raise your hand. So the rest of you eat it and buy it? Okay, I think I'm in your group. All right.
I told them I expect violence at the end of the segment. An uprising, people out storming the streets.
You might be overshooting your expectations.
The hummus revolution. That's what I'm looking for. All right, but it's really cheap. And essentially what you need is some garbanzo beans. Right. Now, I'm using canned. These were 10 for $10. They're that cheap. I'm going to use 2 cans of this. I need a clove of garlic. I need, this is the one exotic thing. It's called tahini. Okay?
Where do you buy it?
And I go right across the street to the Chinese Cultural Center.
Gotcha, okay.
And it's pretty cheap. If you go to one of the upscale,
AJ's?
like Whole Wallet or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It can be very expensive, but it's really pretty cheap stuff. It's just a puree of toasted sesame seeds and a little bit of olive oil and lemon juice, and that's really it. And we puree it up. So essentially, this is my biggest expense, but I only need about a teaspoon of this.
I know there are no dumb questions in your book, only dumb people, so let me go out on a limb here and say, are garbanzo beans the same as chickpeas?
Yes, they are. And my grandma used to call them chichi beans.
All right.
All right, so it's really pretty simple. Now, I'm going to have you do the cooking, okay? So I have my garlic, and I'm just going to chop that up. And the reason I'm chopping it up is if I leave it whole, I tend to chase it around the food processor.
Gotcha.
I have 2 of those cans in there.
Which is good sport in some homes. But
It is. You know, or who gets the garlic clove?
Right.
I always love that expression on their face. All right. Now, this stuff kind of settles a little bit, and check it out. It's just a paste, and we're just going to loosen that up.
And the oil on the top is from?
It's from the sesame seeds. Okay. So all it is sesame seeds, sometimes a little bit of salt. The key thing about this is when you buy it, you must refrigerate it. So it's not like peanut butter. All right, peanut butter you can leave on the shelf. This has to be refrigerated because it'll go rancid. And you can tell if it's gone rancid because it has kind of a musty, dusty, old closet kind of a smell to it.
I don't smell it, so that's a good thing.
I've been keeping this in the fridge. So this is the stuff I have at home, and I've had this for over a year. All right, and
okay, so the shelf life really, as long as it's refrigerated, we're cool.
Now everything I'm doing here, you have a recipe online for it, but if you like more garlic, add more garlic. If you like more tahini or less tahini, it's to your taste.
So the tahini flavor is going to be a sesame type flavor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm going to add about a fat tablespoon to those 2 cans. Okay. Boom. I have that.
Is that a thickening agent or just a flavoring deal?
It's the flavoring. It's the main flavoring. And then I'm just going to throw some lemon juice in there. Boom. Are you ready to cook?
Yes.
All right. Okay, press the button. Look, she's cooking. Everybody give her a hand. That is awesome.
Oh, I like this audience. They're here to play.
This technique. Now what we're going to do is we're going to loosen this up while it's running with a little olive oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil, but if you don't want a really strong flavor, use less. Now this is what makes it nice and silky. Now, if you don't want that much fat, use water.
Really?
Yeah. Just thin it down with a little bit of water if you want to do it, because that's what they do with the commercial ones. Because extra virgin olive oil is very expensive, water is cheap.
Oh.
So that's another reason why we're going to have the hummus uprising, because you've been paying hummus prices for water when you should have been getting extra virgin olive oil, right? Because they'll just thin it out with that. So you'll notice that this is going to be a lot more luxe, a lot more delicious.
Now, let me also say, at this point, a lot of times we see in the ones that we buy at the store, we see, I don't know, like the roasted garlic, the sun-dried tomato flavor, the, help me out here. There are lots of different flavors that we can have in our hummus. Is this
I feel like an Australian pitchman selling something. Well, odd you should mention that, Stephanie, because I happen to have some roasted bell peppers here that we're going to throw into our hummus. And zip, it's going to turn into a delicious delicacy.
Are you going to trick it up?
I'm going to trick it out a little bit for you. So that's all I do. So the cool thing about this is the hummus is almost kind of like this mother recipe that you can add whatever you want to. We were talking before the show, I'm adding roasted peppers to this, but I could add cilantro, I could add jalapenos, I could add any number of things to this.
just go steal all the recipes from the case over at the grocery store and then go home and make it for a fraction of the price.
But that's it. All right? So now you put that out, and this is the thing that I graze on all week long. All right, so I'll make a huge bucket of this, and you can make one big batch of hummus and then split it off and flavor some with roasted peppers. You can add olives and puree that. Yeah, it's richer, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That's because it's made with all beans and all that good stuff instead of cutting it with water.
How long will that last? I mean, not last, but like, you know, how long will it stay fresh?
Through the weekend.
Okay, a couple days.
Yeah, I mean, basically I'll make a batch about that big, and we'll eat it all weekend long.
Okay.
So
it probably won't even it won't even last as long as it could
exactly,
probably.
Exactly. And I mean, it really tastes good, and it's rich, and it's satisfying, and it's one of those things that, you know, if you're trying to get away from the fats and all the rest of it, these are nice, healthy fats, beautiful carbohydrates. It's going to be filling. You've got your fiber. You're eating your vegetables, and have some pita chips if you want.
That is going to be my husband approved, personal trainer approved. I bet.
I got a feeling. I got a feeling.
I got a feeling.
It's so simple.
Thank you.
All right.
Who knew?
Hummus revolution.